Chapter 27. My head hurt. It was almost like a hangover, except we didn't have anything to drink last night. I looked around and saw that I was back in bed with Ree still sleeping on the other side. She was doing that little funny thing she does with her nose. I wanted to chuckle, but I didn't want to wake her up. There was a knocking at the door. Last few times that had happened, we wound up with a lot more than we had bargained for. I tried to get out of bed as quickly and as quietly as I could, although one doesn't normally permit the other. I tiptoed to the front door and opened it slowly. There was a lady wearing her delivery uniform. "Jonathan Cruz?" she asked, her massive vehicle still running next to the sidewalk. "I need you to sign this." With my head still throbbing, I wasn't quite sure what all was going on. For all I knew, this lady was the stork in disguise or something. I quickly scribbled my signature on their electronic pad, and she handed me this medium-sized box which was at her feet. "Is this the thing from eBay?" I asked. "I only delivered packages, mister. I sure hope you were expecting something, otherwise I have to take this back to the warehouse." No, I was expecting something. I just didn't think it would get here so soon. Have a nice day," I said to the lady as she started walking back to her truck. This had to have been the thing that Ryan bought yesterday, unless Rhea or Andrea had something behind this. I shrugged it off as I closed the door and took the box to the living room. I figured it would be a little selfish to open the thing from Ryan without Rhea. As I opened the bedroom door, I could see that she was in the middle of waking up. "What's wrong, honey? Why are you up?" she asked, her voice still trying to find itself. "I think we got Ryan's present." Something in her head must have clicked because she sprang up and out of bed in a heartbeat. "What is it?" "I don't know yet. I was waiting for you to wake up so we could open it together." Like a child on Christmas morning, I saw Ree running into the living room to try and find the box. She found it where I had left it. She finally took a deep breath as she stopped to reflect on what all this meant. "First it was the cake, then we had Paul come over, now this," she said. "Is this like our last present?" "I guess," I said. "Do you need scissors or a knife?" "I think I can handle this one all by myself." "Where's it from? It must have been close if they got it sent in a day." She looked at the return mailing address. "It's from here," she said. "Anton. So the person Ryan bought the stuff from was from our own city? That's more than a little unexpected." As Ree started tearing off the tape and the layers of cardboard, I started to wonder whom this stuff had belonged to. As she finally reached the inside of the box, she started laughing. "What's so funny?" I asked, naturally confused. I finally walked over to Ree to see what was inside the box. There were two Walkmans, one cassette and one CD. Each had its own pair of identical headphones. "iPod schmipod," I said. "If you had really good music, you didn't need a million songs at your disposal. Is there anything inside?" We opened the Walkman trays. She shook her head after opening one, and then started laughing again after the second one. "It's Nirvana. There's Nevermind on cassette and In Utero on CD. There is no doubt that this is what Ryan bought." I couldn't help but start laughing myself. It was a wonderful feeling to laugh. After the past day and a half, it was a wonderful sensation. "Do they have batteries in them?" I asked. "I kind of want to hear them." I reached to grab the CD player. I popped out the Nirvana CD to checked out the back. It looked brand new, as if it had never been played or had only been played a couple of times. The Walkmans were quite dusty with years of dirt on top of them, but it was good to see that the music lived on. I turned the Walkman over to uncover the batteries. I almost fell to the floor. "What happened, honey?" Rhea asked, startled. I showed her the back of the Walkman. "Property of Ryan Jones." "Do you think he knew?" she asked. "I have no idea." I stammered my way to the computer room to see if I could salvage the listing from the website. As the winning bidder, I figured it would be somewhere. A few clicks later, I found the entry. "I am selling 2 old Walkmans, 1 cassette, 1 CD, that got good use back in the day. Fair condition. I've been going through some old things, and this brings back too many memories. Included in each is a Nirvana. Both gently used, but unused for 17 years. Well, shipped to Canada." The screen name belonged to Nicole71R. "Do you think," Ree began to ask, "that it belonged to his old girlfriend?" I looked at her straight in the eye and said, "Maybe." I didn't know whether I was going to tell Rhea about our chat in church, but maybe this was better suited for another day. I pulled out a couple batteries we had in a pack inside the desk. I flipped open the old compartments, which were empty, and put the new ones in. Which one do you want, I asked. Which one has smells like Teen Spirit? That would be the cassette player. Here you go. As we clicked on our players, I could tell we were both anxious to see if these things still worked. Within a few seconds, the servant started filling my ears. Rhea looked a little confused. I thought Teen Spirit was the first track. I think this is In Bloom. You have to rewind it, honey, I said. She looked kind of embarrassed, not remembering to rewind the tape. I guess Ryan had last listened to Teen Spirit as well. After a quick whirring sound, I could faintly hear that classic guitar riff. I wonder how Ryan would have felt calling Nirvana classic rock. Neither of us said anything for a few minutes. We let the music do the talking. What mattered most was that these words had meaning to those that listened to it. That it's what makes this thing art. Want to switch? We said. I know she didn't listen to a lot of rock, but she entertained the idea of discovering an artist for the first time. I don't always understand what they're saying. Like, I can't decipher the letters. The letter. I quickly reached into my back pocket to see if I had left Andrea's note there. As she saw me reaching for something, she looked confused. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you have one of those too. I think Andrea left this note underneath the cake yesterday. I saw it when I put it in the fridge. Do you want to read it? Rhea seemed unfazed. I don't know. Maybe I'm better off not knowing. Maybe it's the cake recipe, I coaxed. Again, maybe it's better if we don't know. You can read it if you want. I had assumed that the letter was for Rhea the entire time. Maybe, in fact, it was for me. Slowly, I unfolded the same piece of paper that I had dreamed about her writing on. Enough milk, enough sugar, enough flour, enough chocolate, enough eggs, enough love. She gave us the recipe, I said as I showed it to her. I saw a smile gleam across Rhea's face as she started crying. Now we can make our own recipe, she said. The rest of the dream started crossing my mind. There was no way that she could have been just a figment of my imagination. She was there. Maybe I was the figment for her while she was baking. Regardless, Andrea had proven that we had everything we needed to go on. As we left the computer room and headed back into the living room, I couldn't help but glance back into the now empty kitchen. She was there and I was there. I'd swear by it. Did you want another slice? Rhea asked. Not now, I said. I figured I'd turn on the TV to get my mind off of it. There was an advertisement saying how they would name a star named for you, name for your kid or family member for a nominal price. Why just stop at one star? Why not get a whole constellation? I asked. Rhea looked over at me. Who were you talking to? I don't know. I guess it was a rhetorical question. What are your favorite constellations, honey? Leo and Orion.